Hey everybody, this is Maddie with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a fine day and a terrific Sunday and to your weekend. Hope it was a great one. We're going to look at a few quick stories today. We're looking at comments made by Vitalik, Mr. Vitalik, not giving away ETH Buterin, who said that as far as he's concerned, centralized exchanges can burn in hell. Now, don't take that too seriously. It was said with a chuckle. It was a little bit tongue-in-cheek. But nonetheless, harsh words out of the leader of Ethereum. We're going to take a look at what he wanted to say there, what he was expressing. We have news out of Quantstamp that we're going to take a look at, and a little bit of an update from Electroneum, which I'm sure many of you out there in the Altcoin Buzz army have been itching for. So we're going to start the news, however, as always, on altcoinbuzz.io with this article by Chris, talking about South Korea. So unified regulations will lead to adoption. South Korea promotes favorable, quote, unified regulations to G20 members regarding cryptocurrency use, trading, and adoption of blockchain technologies. So South Korea has really been in the news a lot today, and we're going to take a look at a couple of other peripheral news pieces in addition to this one. It's amazing how quickly things are turning around. And I was reading in the comments yesterday, somebody noted that, whatever happened 6 months ago, ICOs were banned. At least that was the outsiders' understanding, right? Allegedly, they were banned. You had this total crackdown on cryptocurrency from the government. And maybe that was just the FUD because things have really turned around. It's been a country, of course, that's embraced cryptocurrency. But we're almost seeing a 180-degree reversal from our worst-case fears a few months back. So according to the Korea Times, South Korea is promoting, quote, unified regulations of cryptocurrencies among all G20 countries in their upcoming meeting. They intend to be the country paving the way for favorable regulations regarding cryptocurrency use, trading, and adoption of blockchain technologies. Since cryptocurrencies are global, having the entire G20 on the same page is vital in creating global standards for cryptocurrencies, similar to what the financial world uses with the International Accounting Standards, the IAS. So it's an interesting stage to be talking about this. Not only is this at the level of South Korea, which itself is a very pro-crypto, very enthusiastic blockchain country, but to be talking about it in the context of G20 and even hinting at the idea of a standardized rule set for international regulations. I like it. I like this kind of talk. So, quote, establishing unified rules is a complicated issue given the broader range of assessments between government agencies. This is why the country needs close international cooperation, as it is still in the early stages of fine-tuning guidelines, according to a South Korean official. Yeah, I think that's the case. I think that, we're still evolving, we're still developing and learning how exactly this is going to work at a global level. Of course, Chris talks about the fact that there has been manipulation, there's been hacks, there's been all kinds of security concerns in the market. These are the kinds of things that we have to deal with if we're going to take this and regulate it at a global level, of course. Quote, the FSC, Financial Services Commission, made revisions to its rules to apply strengthened policies in order to prevent or detect money laundering and illegal activities because the regulator isn't opposed to cryptocurrencies, again, according to a South Korean official. And then you have in South Korea both the Democratic Party and Representative Hong Oirak. They're both working on lifting the ban relating to the purported ICO ban that was in the news some weeks and months ago. You can check that out. We'll link to it in the description below. What do you guys think about this kind of thing? Very expansive in terms of the proposals. I mean, even the idea of an international rule set for crypto. It's very ambitious. I don't know how realistic it is, but I like the fact that it's being discussed in that G20 context. It gives just cryptocurrency more credibility and more exposure on the world stage. Hopefully it'll get some of those other G20 countries thinking about it and discussing it as well. So here from the Korea Times, Korea shifting to embrace cryptocurrency, and a nice encouraging quote that I've selected for you guys. Any major reversal in policies is unlikely, but the government seems to believe a gradual shift in attitude toward crypto-based assets is needed. What regulators should do is figure out how to regulate them properly and prudently, as Korea needs to put more emphasis on blockchain technology after obtaining know-how and understanding of the possible flip side of cryptocurrency trading, said a trade ministry official. So guys, let us know your thoughts here, because this has, I would like to think, more upsides, more pros than cons. But what do you think about this discussion in the context of G20? If South Korea really is going after this status as we talked about Malta, Bermuda, some of these crypto havens. South Korea's got a much larger economy, a much larger population. If they're really pushing for this aggressively, I think that could mean very, very good things for our space. And in related news, you have Hyundai here, which has been advertising this blockchain commercial during the World Cup, and it's received as much as 30 million viewers at times have checked out this commercial because it's been running prominently during a lot of the halftime advertisement spots. So Hyundai ad showcases blockchain. A blockchain advert by Hyundai Digital Asset Company, HDAC or HDAC, presenting a high-tech vision of the future featuring Internet of Things technology, has been featured in every halftime break. On July 7th, it showed at halftime of the England clash with Sweden. This quarterfinal hit 30 million viewers, according to ITV News, higher than the 23.6 million viewers that watched England versus Colombia. So there's actually not a whole lot that I can do in terms of showing you the ad, guys, but just for copyright reasons, we want to be careful with that. But looking at the HDAC website, it states, the technology can be applied to smart factories, smart homes, smart buildings, and various industries. Also, machine-to-machine transaction for mutual contracts and operation between IoT devices are implemented to bring a platform where rational consumptions and transactions are possible. So we're going to link to this in the description, of course. This is just a quick screenshot. You can access the ad. You can view it on YouTube, but you'll read the caption here at the bottom. HDAC technology is building the future with the blockchain solution. And the word or words blockchain appeared in this ad. It's only 30 seconds long, but blockchain appeared no fewer than 3 separate times. So that's a good thing. 30 million eyeballs. Again, it adds to the credibility. It adds to the legitimacy of this space, of this sector that we find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen of the altcoin buzz army. The way I see it, this is only a good thing. So let us hear your thoughts about that. Maybe you watched that particular match. Maybe you're keenly following the World Cup and all the matches. If you spotted this ad, let us know what you think about it in the comments below. And South Korea is just perennially in the news. It doesn't seem to go away. As soon as I had my last update on Ethos, guys, as soon as I had my very last update that I posted just the other day, of course they came out and they announced their universal wallet rollout in South Korea. So that's the latest. Just wanted to highlight that quickly because unfortunately I missed it during the last video, and I'm sure I'm going to miss the latest update as soon as this video is posted. But c'est la vie, what can you do? And now in somewhat scandalous news, some other news about Vitalik Buterin, burn in hell. That was his comment that he issued on centralized exchanges. Now again, this was issued facetiously. I'm not going to take this too seriously. We're not fake news here at Altcoin Buzz. I'm not going to sensationalize this more than it needs to be sensationalized. But at a recent TechCrunch session, Vitalik Buterin, Ethereum's co-founder, widely criticized centralized exchanges, going so far as to say they should burn in hell. Again, jokingly, right? So he said, speaking about centralized exchanges, Buterin didn't pull any punches, saying, I definitely hope exchanges, centralized exchanges rather, go burn in hell as much as possible. So what's this all about? His negativity was sparked primarily because of the practice of charging outrageous amounts of money. So $10 to $15 million in listing fees so that users can trade their tokens on these exchanges. I actually had no idea it was that high. That is outrageous. He also noted that their main purpose was to bridge the fiat world and cryptocurrencies, where the former only has, quote, centralized gateways. The co-founder of Ethereum also mentioned that crypto-to-crypto exchanges present clear advantages, especially from the point of view of the user. He says that the exchange acts as an input and output tunnel, virtually transferring tokens from one address to another, but in 2 different currencies. So you guys can read a little bit more about this. And yes, nonetheless, he was objective. So despite bashing on centralized cryptocurrencies, Buterin was also fairly objective, noting that decentralized solutions also face serious challenges, I suppose. One of the biggest issues that have to be considered is user authentication. So that is still a bit of an issue. So for instance, what will happen if a user loses his private key or her private key? In a decentralized environment, there is no central authority which would be able to reset the key or to allow the user to recover his or her password. Hence, the funds stored at one's wallet might get irrevocably lost. And this is a bit of the issue. There's always that trade-off: centralized versus decentralized, secure versus private. These are still some of the issues that we're dealing with, and this is, I guess, what makes those ambitions that South Korea has about these international global standards. These are some of the pain points that make them a little bit harder to define clearly. Growth of the communities definitely depends on what the earliest members believe. I think it is something where we do make a deliberate effort to basically promote the right values and attract the right people, both in an inclusive sense and in an exclusive sense. So according to Vitalik Buterin, you can read about that as well here on Cointelegraph. So Ethereum's Vitalik Buterin blasts centralized crypto exchanges. I hope they burn in hell. Again, guys, I'd encourage you to watch the video, though. You can check that out here. He says it jokingly. He says it with a chuckle, so it's done facetiously. Don't take it too seriously. Now, I am not going to challenge this guy's intellect. He's a very smart man, a genius, no doubt, much smarter than I am, that's for sure. I would question perhaps his wardrobe choices. So I would describe this as a tie-dye t-shirt. And it's festooned with an additional unicorn llama, a glasses-wearing cat, and no fewer than 3 UFOs. So, look, again, the guy's very smart. I'm not bashing his intellectual chops, but put on a suit. Put on a suit for this public interview. That's just my opinion. I'm a bit of a suit guy. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Mark Zuckerberg. He's a really smart guy, but if you listen to him speak, he's a little bit lacking in terms of social graces. Nonetheless, he's doing a good job as Ethereum's head honcho, and I don't have any qualms about his leadership. But yeah, style-wise, I'd say there's a little bit to be desired. But that's just me. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below if you disagree. News out of Quantstamp. So, quote on their Twitter, "We chose Kwanstamp because we believe they have a distributive technology, and we think that they can lead the way for the blockchain ecosystem here in Japan." So Kwanstamp enters Japanese market with acceptance to plug and play. Pretty good news there. You can read about that on Medium. This is what the link is. Kwanstamp enters Japanese market with acceptance to plug and play. Fintech Accelerator. Pretty good news there for Quantstamp and fans of Kwanstamp. And here you have Kwanstamp head of APAC K Oda and CEO Richard Ma at Plug and Play Japan. If you're a fan of Kwanstamp, guys, and you think this is good news, let us know. I think this is certainly a good development. Quote, "Japan is not only one of the largest economies in the world, but has taken a leading stance toward cryptocurrency regulation," said Richard Ma, Kwanstamp CEO. "Our acceptance into Plug and Play will help us collaborate with local partners and help onboard them onto smart contract technology in a secure way. We are excited to help pave the way for the mainstream adoption of smart contracts in Japan. More power to them." We wish our friends at Kwanstamp the best of luck in this most recent endeavor. And of course, guys, you may have heard there's all kinds of natural disaster news in Western Japan. So if you're a member of the AltCoin Buzz Army or not, we send our condolences. We hope all is well for Japanese citizens affected by the extreme weather in Western Japan. In other news, Electroneum. Apple approved Electroneum iOS app. You can check it out on YouTube. There's the link. Seeking beta testers for next week, and there's the link for the beta testing. See full details on Facebook. So 3 quick links there that we're going to include in the description here. But Electroneum iOS beta registration, you can click on that here. I know for a fact we have a lot of Electroneum fans in the Altcoin Buzz Army in our audience. We have a lot of people that have been disappointed with Electroneum, to be fair. I mean, I think that hopes were set a little bit higher, and some have certain issues perhaps with what's been delivered so far. This, however, is a good step. If you want to take part in that iOS beta, you can register here. We will link to this in the description below. Let us know your thoughts about this and what you think about Electroneum and their future. This, at the very least, is a promising development. So we'll see what happens. We're going to stay on top of that. And as always, guys, you know the drill. Make sure you're following Altcoin Buzz News for the latest and the greatest information in the crypto space. If you like this video, leave us a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you click the bell to receive notifications. Have a great end of your weekend, and we'll see you again in a new video. Take care.